Welcome back to another Comic Pressing 101 tutorial. If you watch everything in sequence, then you have heard and seen and watched the few videos on humidity chamber and steam, okay? And one of the concern that I had when I experimented with the humidity chamber is rusty staple, okay? We all know that metals can get rusty, and many of us have seen comic books with rusty staples. And I think it's common sense that rusty staple happen because the book is either soaked in water, damaged by water, in a flood or whatever over a long period of time, or was stored in a humidity environment for a long time. How long is a big question, okay? That's the question that I don't know, and many people can't really answer, or did not have the answer that I was looking for. I think most of us would agree that if you take a piece of metal, expose it to water, but you dry it right off, the odds that thing turn rusty is slim to none, right? It is about long-term exposure or repeated exposure. It's not about expose something to water, get it wet, but it would dry it all off, and then it would get rusty 3 months later. Okay, things go bad usually because it was exposed over a long period of time. The question is how long, okay? And for me, when I started this process, I was curious. I had some reader's book that I don't mind removing the staple. I literally remove a couple staple, dunk one, submerge one in water, and then take it out and leave it air dry in the house. And then I also had one where I leave it outside in the humid environment of Florida. Okay, I wish I still had those staples around. I wish, this is something that I did. And sure, after a few weeks, I monitor both staples. And the one that I took out after I dunked it in the water and let it air dry in the house seemed like nothing changed. Absolutely nothing changed. I did not see any discoloring. The staple did not turn from a silver color to black. I did not see any changes. The one that I left outside show sign of discoloring, couple black spot here and there after about 3 weeks. You understand how hot and humid Florida can be, right? And damp. Is that scientific enough to make any kind of conclusion? No, but it gave me an idea of it affirmed my belief that rusty staples are more likely to happen over long exposure to damp environment, not a few seconds kind of thing. So that alleviates my worry when I start to play around with humidity chamber, okay? But shortly after that, when I start to play with a steamer, one of the things that I found beneficial of a steamer over humidity chamber, and most people can agree, even if you never use a steamer, is that when you use a humidity chamber, you are exposing the entire book to humidity, even areas that are not needed. Yes? Can everyone at least agree to that? Yes, right? Because if you dunk a book, if you put a book in a tub and put it in a humidity chamber, okay? I'm taking out just an example here to show you. So you have this book. You put this book in a humidity chamber, the entire book, interior, everything is exposed to the humid environment, staple included, for a few hours. Yes, okay? Now, if you use a steamer, a handheld steamer, the huge benefit that I see immediately and make me an immediate fan of using a steamer instead and switch right away is that I can target the steam to the spot that's needed. Let's say you have a book that is super sweet, super nice, but it has a light indentation right here, non-breaking light indentation right here. Why would you need to put the entire book in a humidity chamber to fix that big indentation right there? With a steamer, guess what? You can target that one corner, give it a 1-2 second pass to put the steam there, and when you press the book, done. Yeah? Makes sense? Yeah? Target steaming spot, correct? Yeah? All of a sudden, all the concern about, oh, is the staple's gonna be rusty, is long-term exposure or short-term exposure, any kind of exposure, I don't care. Okay? That concern go away like that. Yeah, that's how I like to operate. Use some common sense. Okay, so I'm not poo-pooing on people that use the humidity chamber. Obviously, a lot of people do that. Okay, obviously. And obviously, nobody is screaming that their book all got rusty staple. So I'm not saying that using a humidity chamber is dangerous to the staple. I'm not saying that. Make it very clear. All I'm saying that is when I do spot steaming to the area that need a little steam to help fix the flaw, I have zero concern of any kind of rusty staple. So anyone that asks me questions about, oh, are you worried about rusty this, rusty that, the answer is always a sharp and blunt no. Oh, not that I blame anyone that asked me that question, okay, because I had those same questions when I first start pressing. Now, if I have for example's sake, if this book have a big crunch corner thing right here at the corner, and the spine area, the rest is super nice, why do I need to steam this entire area? Why do I even need to put moisture on the staple here, right? It's so easy to put this on a flat table, cover up, right? You can just do this. Okay, and then target steam this spot right here. 1, 2, not even 2 seconds. Boom, or 1, 2, 3 if needed. You know, when it comes to how long you should steam something, the more you do it, the more you will understand that some spot might need 1, 2, 3. Some spot might need 1, 2. Some spots, some heavy creases might need 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you have to play around and have a feel for how things work. Okay, that's why, you know, I keep harping on, you know, why this series has so many videos, because I just don't believe that I can include every nuances of pressing in a 30-minute video, even though some people would just say, make me a 30-minute video on how to press book, as some other people have done, and I'm good with that. Well, I'm sorry. I like to be thorough. You know why? Because I don't want to have to answer a lot of questions. I'd rather put a series out there that answer as many questions as possible, so that if anybody want to learn how to press or want to understand how to press, I can just refer, go watch the series. Okay? The answer is in there somewhere. All right, lesson's over for today, but try using spot steam compared to putting the entire book in the humidity chamber, and you will see the light as I have seen. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.